Today, we're going to be making banana muffins. Michaela's going to be helping me today. We are tired of not having muffins unless we pay $10, which is so ridiculously how much they're charging for muffins right now. So we went and got us a bunch of old bananas. We have one that's not so old, but I'll show you how to make that brown so that you can use it right away. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bananas. We're going to go ahead and do 3 batches of muffins today. We're just going to cook muffins all day so that we can freeze them and have muffins for later. Yes. All right. First, what you're going to need is 3 sticks of butter. And this just, we're tripling our recipe for banana bread is what we're doing. We're making 3 batches. Oh, get that little fruit fly. Likes bananas over here. If I find him, I'm going to kill him. It's finally cold enough here that we can use the oven all day long. We even got the fireplace going. Feels all cozy. It got real cold real quick here in Idaho. I think tonight we're supposed to get down to 11 degrees. Yes, be very careful. Oh, right. You don't want to waste the butter. This stuff's expensive. All right. Not as expensive as buying as many muffins as we're going to make, though. All right, next we're going to need, yeah, you can go ahead and do the eggs. 6 eggs. Good job. Try not to get any shells in there. We're going to need 3 cups of sugar. 1, 2, 3. And we like our muffins a little sweeter, so I'm going to add probably about 1/3 of a cup more. And that's for 3 batches. So that's not too much. Good job. That's enough. Good job. All right, 1 more. I think that's good. Look at you. You didn't get any shells in there from 6 eggs. Oh, spoke too soon. 1 more. Oh, you got a shells in there. If you do get shells in there, what you do is you just, okay, go wash your hands, baby. You just use your eggshell to scoop it out. It'll stick a lot easier. Hold on to the eggshell than it will your fingers. You'll be chasing around the bowl all day. All right, and now that you got your hands all cleaned up, you better let Grandma do this part. Make sure these butters are room temperature. We're not needing that one yet. We gotta mix this butter in. You just want to break that butter up with that fork. It doesn't have to be all the way broken up. To mix it in, make sure all this sugar is completely wet, moistened. You want all your sugar completely moistened. And all those big old blobs are not going to matter, as we're probably going to get out the mixer here in a second, because it's pretty hard to mix 3 batches by hand, unless you got to have some good muscle for that. All right, and so now we're going to add in, it's supposed to be 3 teaspoons of vanilla, but we're going to add in 4 to make them a little extra tasty for the muffins here. This is a shot glass measuring cup. It's so handy. It does 2 tablespoons. I use the heck out of these.
I'm so glad you like those.
Okay, and then we're going to add 3 teaspoons of baking soda. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to add this, a half of a teaspoon. We're going to add 1.5 teaspoons of salt. 2, 3, and that second one there was just a little short, so we'll throw a little extra in there. Okay, we're going to give this a quick mix. All right, now we're ready to throw our bananas in here. We're going to start with this yellow one. It's not really good for making bananas, but as soon as it gets in there with all that sugar, it's going to start breaking down, and it's going to turn into a brown banana in no time. Okay, there we go. We'll just put all these right here. Then we won't have to keep running back and forth to the garbage can. Look at that. Such a perfect banana bread banana. Just make sure that little seed there at the bottom, you don't want that in there. Oh, that one's a lot less brown than it looked on the outside, huh? Still paid 44 cents a pound for brown bananas. It's ridiculous. Those are actually edible bananas right there, but it's all right. Oh my, you are spoiled. A bubblegum cigar?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's so yummy.
Oh yeah, and we're going to want to start our oven at 350 degrees. And I've already got my muffin cups here. I got 3 of them that fit into the oven. These 2 sideways and this one here at the end. So I could do 18 at a time. But you want to get I got reusable cupcake liners. These are so genius. But that's what we're using. You could use paper cup liners or just grease the cups if you'd rather do it a different way. Okay, but you start your oven at 350. And by the time we get done mixing this, it's going to be ready for our first batch to go in. And we should have 9 bananas, but we only have 8. They're still going to taste just fine. If you got 8 or you got 10 or you got 11, it's still going to work. But if they're really small bananas, they might be a little dry if you go 1 banana short, but it's still going to turn out. You just start pressing that banana into that sugar, and it's just going to start breaking down. It's going to turn into a mushy banana in no time. Oh, here I was thinking my bananas weren't going to last another day. Just break them apart up against the side of the bowl a little bit here. I got a very large fork for doing this. That's kind of a lot of work. Why don't we get out the mixer? Make it easier, because I have a lot of stirring muscles. But, okay, let's get out the mixer. All right, so if you're going to use a mixer on this, you just want to only mix it until everything's broken up. You don't want to over mix this. Okay, and we're just going to do this on low, because we don't want it to fling around everywhere when it's getting those chunks of bananas. Okay. It's really super easy to go through it. And this just gets addicting. Alright. I have a stand mixer that just isn't easy to chase those big pieces of bananas around with. That's why we're using a hand mixer. And then we can be careful not to over mix it. I'm just about at the point where this is over mixing, so let's turn it off. Okay, so you're going to want an actual stirring spoon for this. A shorter one will give you more leverage, so we're going to need add in 4.5 cups of flour. And this doesn't have to be exact. Just like the bananas, it doesn't have to be exact. So don't waste all your time trying to measure something off. You just make sure you don't pack it in there. You just do it all nice and soft. And we'll stir that in really well. And then we'll add some nuts. We're going to be adding 1 cup of nuts for it's a lot of muffins. I have not made banana muffins in so long. Just do bread. I don't like to spend all that money on cupcake liners. And I don't like the mess that you get when you just grease the cupcake pan. But I found these reusable ones and I am in love with them. Now we can do muffins anytime we want. You just rinse them out and then dry them really well before you stack them, or they'll get bacteria build up in between them when you store them. Right, now we're going to do our nuts. You want to make sure you don't do this on top of your tile countertops. And this will wake up the neighbors. You might want to wait till everybody's awake before you start pounding. Yeah, this is punching little microscopic holes in the bag. That's fine. They're not going anywhere. And you turn it over. I'm chopping up some freaking peanuts. All right, there we go. I guess you could use a food processor to do this also, but this way here you don't have dishes to wash. Yes, it is loud, huh? I'm all done now, though. You just about make peanut butter if you do that too long. Fresh chopped nuts smell so good. Yep, mix and mix. You better let Grandma do it. That's a lot of mix. Wow, you got strong muscles. Oh, good job, girl. Look at you. You did a great job. All right. Now, there's no point washing your hands yet because we're about to start touching the dough. If you want to take a whole bunch of time, you can do it another way if you prefer. But I just use my finger. Hold on. And I have a little ice cream scoop here. This is about 1/4 cup. Might be a little bit less. And you just level it off. And you scoop it in. You don't want these more than 2/3 of the way full. Whatever expands out the top doesn't look so pretty. We'll go through and even those out here in a second. You could use a regular spoon too. I like to do them just halfway full. It makes the tops look a lot prettier. And it makes more muffins. Serving size on muffins is 2 muffins. So if they're too big, then that's too much food if you eat 2 muffins. Okay. And I'm just holding my finger up against the bowl. You swipe off the bottom, then swipe off your finger. There you go. Scoop it in, swipe off the bottom, swipe off your finger. You want to make sure you can reach all of these plenty well, because you don't want to touch the edges or you'll have a mess to clean up when you're done baking. And we want to try to keep these nice and clean so we can do multiple batches today without having to wash them in between. So now we're going to put them in the oven. I'll show you how I get these to all fit in here. So put two sideways, just like this, and you want them to be just a tiny bit apart so that air can flow in between them. You don't want them touching the back of your oven or the sides of your oven. And then you put this one right over here. Okay, and then while these are baking, you're just going to want to put a towel over the top of your banana mixture here so that it doesn't get exposed to air too much, and those nasty little fruit flies that love bananas so much don't find their way to it. Now we can get all everything cleaned up. All right, we baked these for 20 minutes. Check them with a toothpick. They might need a couple more minutes. I live in Idaho. I've heard that baking temperatures are different in other places, but try 20 minutes and then check them with a toothpick, because that was just perfect for mine. And you'll see they're nice and golden brown on the top. Just perfect. So you're just going to dump these out onto a cooling rack here. They are awfully hot. Oh, yes, they are. You could use a cutting board. Dump them out onto your cutting board also. You just want them like this so they don't get disformed while they're touching each other. Yes, there we go. Still pretty hot. We're going to wait about 1 minute, and then we'll be able to take those papers off and reuse them for our next batch. All right, it's been 1 minute. These pans are still really hot, so don't forget they're really hot. You're just going to grab the edges of these and see how they pop right off. And we're not even going to bother washing those out, because that little bit that's stuck in the bottom there is just going to help us keep them from sticking for the next batch. See that? If they're a little bit stuck like this one here, just let it sit for like 1 more second and come back to it in a minute. As that moisture starts to build up in that cup, just releases it so much better. Ooh, still a little bit hot. You might want to wait 2 minutes. I am in a hurry. All right, and then after they've cooled off to room temperature, which only takes about 10 minutes at the most, you just want to make sure that you're not trapping excess moisture inside of your bag when you put it in the freezer, or they can gather up bacteria. So make sure that they're all the way cooled down to room temperature before you seal that bag and put them in the freezer. We're putting 12 at a time into a 1 gallon freezer bag. So that way there I can just freeze them and they'll lay a little bit flatter. If you overstuff them, they might get stuck together when you stick them in there. So 12 is about the right number. Look at those beauties. And you see how many are missing. These are how many are getting eaten while they're waiting for me to stick them in the freezer. All right, so I'm getting ready to make dinner, and I had to get these muffins out of the way before they were done cooling. So just make sure that you put them, leave the bag open until all that steam escapes before you seal the bag and put those into the freezer. This made 57 muffins, which was almost 5 dozen. And I know it seems like it was really expensive because we used 3 sticks of butter and 6 eggs, but it actually, the math breaks down to 8 cents or 8.5 cents per muffin, which is by far cheaper than you're going to be able to purchase these for. Okay, see you guys next time.